we did our first interview. We're really excited with Brian
Brian and
Hawkins
Patrick.
and Patrick Foreman.
Great guys, great guys.
Yeah, and they wrote the book Black Cotton. It was a great interview. We had a lot of fun with them.
Make sure you stick around for the end of the video because we're going to be revealing the Pharcyde exclusive. So stick around if you want to see that.
It looks way better on the other side.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, check it out.
Montreal, Canada.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Me and my wife, we're trying to go to Niagara Falls on the Canada side because we heard that's the best view. Next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when's the best time to come to Canada?
Summer, I guess. Otherwise, it's too cold.
Okay. So.
Well, it depends on where you are.
Oh, I think it's always cold here. Yeah. Where are you calling us from, Patrick?
Virginia, Stafford,
okay.
Virginia. Yeah.
So you guys are both from Virginia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not too far away.
Okay.
From each other. Maybe like
you're like
40
in separate
minutes.
towns.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I guess this leads us into the first question. How did you guys first meet?
Oh man, that's a great one. You want to tell it, Brian, or you know?
What? I mean, it's up to you. We can do rock, paper, scissors. No?
Do it,
yeah.
Sure.
Rock, paper,
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
what you got?
No, wait. I had scissors.
Oh, you cut me.
Okay, all right.
Cheating.
Cut it out. Okay. All right. So we have a mutual friend, Luke Wright. He's an author. He's an educator. He's a speaker. And I used to work with him when I was in school systems in DC. And so he knew that, I wrote comics, did editing, freelancing. And he was like, I have this friend of mine that you need to meet. Like he has some ideas for a comic book. I'm like, oh yeah. And so eventually, we linked up, we found a time to meet. It was on like a Sunday. It was last January actually. And what ended up happening was we're sitting there and we're just talking, and we started talking about the idea for the comic book. And he was like, I had this idea for a comic book where everything's reversed. Like even the cotton is black. I'm like, yo, that's it. Black cotton. That's the title right there. And so from that point on, we just, we clicked and we just began to build the concept out, and we became great friends and partners, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you said like it started off like everything is reversed. Like, was it like at the beginning, was it like solely, like racial, or was it like just everything was just kind of backwards, like politically, was there just like a lot of opposites, or was it just black and white at that point?
It was everything, to be honest. The best way to look at it is we wanted to take perceptions that people already had or what they were perceiving as their reality and make them question it. So for instance, another example which will be explored is women in powerful positions. Women have been fighting for a long time to just, have an equal plane and to be in those roles that are considered, powerful positions.
Right.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, in our world, guess what? You're not fighting. A lot of times it's the males who are fighting to get those positions. Even going down to presidents. When you go into a place and you look and you see a common theme, over the years, where we're going to play with that too. We're going to change it all up so that it's not the common thing that you see. And basically by doing that, we're giving people a safe area, a safe space where they can actually challenge their own perceptions and have that dialogue with themselves and say, oh, I never looked at it from that position.
Right.
Or develop some type of understanding. Oh, I see why women say, you know, this in this particular setting, or why they are fighting so hard for this. You know, some people even, we'll just say like the Me Too movement, you know, some people just didn't understand why it took so long. Well, if you have a safe environment where you can truly examine some of the situations that women have had to endure over years and years, and a lot of them, it was either you do this or you lose your livelihood. Well, that's a hard choice for anybody to, you know, suffer with. And for years, they've suffered with that choice of,
Yeah.
do I feed my family or do I make a stance? If I make a stance, will I have the backing of other women? Will I have the backing of other men? It's tough. And a lot of times people just don't have a safe environment where they can actually examine that, where they can actually understand it. And what it does, what Black Kind does, it gives you that safe environment where you can also go the second level, which is have a conversation afterwards. I mean, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing now. You know, we're having a conversation. And me and Brian, it is amazing how many conversations, awesome conversations we have had since just putting the preview of Black Kind out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because I imagine like it probably it challenges people to a certain extent, right? Like, have you received any sort of like backlash just from like pitching this idea to people? Like,
Yeah.
like people
Facebook.
must
Oh
be
my
just kind of
goodness.
like, well, I don't want to think about it that way. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because we have like, you know, with the promotional push and everything, you know, we have like a few ads that are running. And of course, you know, it's going out to thousands of people. And so there've been some drawback. And it's like, oh man, what is this? And the take on it is the minute that you reverse something, especially something that's so intrinsic to the sordid history of the United States, and you say that the minority is white and the majority, you know, empowered is Black, then the first thought, the first perception is, oh, there's an attack or there's an indictment. And the story is far from an attack and far from indictment. It's like
Of course,
Patrick
yeah.
said, is a conversation starter. It's a perception augmenter. So yeah,
Yeah.
good old Facebook.
Yeah, here's another thing I'll say. It's not just from it's not one-sided. Like I got a review from a African American female, and her gripe was we didn't go hard enough. You know, so you got some people out there who are like, let's keep it the status quo. Don't challenge, you know, don't
Yeah,
challenge
yeah.
our way.
Like, you're
And
never gonna
then-
be able to like completely please everyone. Like,
Right.
make it the route
Yeah.
to go with.
And then you got the other side. How come you didn't go harder? It's like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah. But what I was wondering is like, you guys have touched upon like perspective and stuff like that, but what was the initial goal and like hope, like what are you guys hoping to like achieve with this comic book? Like, because it's definitely something different, and it's not just this basic story that you see at like Marvel and DC. It's definitely it's deeper than that, you know?
Yeah. I think it's several layers. So I'll touch on a couple, and then I'll let you take it from there, Brian. One of the main goals was to like I stated before, to create a safe environment for people to have that inner dialogue with themselves. But the inner dialogue, the purpose is so that they could develop empathy. They could have an opportunity to walk in other people's shoes and actually develop some empathy for the other person or the other culture.
Right.
What we've seen is we've seen several over the years. We've seen several movies or TV shows that have tried to get people to develop empathy. But the problem is this, and this is what I pose out as the challenge. If I see myself in the power position all the time in those movies or those shows, then it's hard for me to actually put myself in the other person's shoes unless I see myself in those shoes. And by us giving other people the opportunity to see themselves in that role, then automatically as you're going through the comic book, where you're seeing it from that individual, and then you start thinking like that individual, which gives you understanding of why certain races or certain people react the way they do in real life. So you develop some empathy for those situations, and that's one main core, definitely, that we wanted to come out of Black Cotton. The other thing is what we talked about earlier. We want people to talk more. We want more conversations like this. We want people, after they read the comic book, to actually go and be like, yo, what did you think when you saw this? Oh, I thought, you know what? I understand. And through that dialogue, guess what? Respect for each other also builds, because you have understanding. So it's entertainment. It's a great story. It's not something that, it's not like a teaching curriculum. No, it's a great story. And if you think about great speakers, what do you remember the most? They were great storytellers. You remember the story, whether you wanted to learn or not. Guess what? You remembered the story, which in the end, you learned something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, you were going to touch on that as well.
No. That's it. He hit the nail on the head.
That was great.
I have nothing to add to that. That's perfect. Well said, brother.
Appreciate it. Black Cotton.
I had a question, because you're talking about conversation and all that, and me and Libby, we were talking about the book just earlier this week, and one stuff that kept coming up is in the comic, the characters, they keep saying at the end of their phrases, Black Cotton. Like, what does that mean? What's the, like the
hey, go ahead, Brian.
What is going on here?
Yeah, so Black Cotton as a saying, as a mantra, is about love. It's about love. It's about uniformity. It's about togetherness. And the prime example of that is, within that issue 1, you have Kia Cotton, and she's in this intense, hostile to a certain extent, conversation with her father, Elijah, about the situation with her older brother, Zion, who is the police officer who has shot the minority white woman. And so he's not happy with her, and they kind of go back and forth. And what ends up happening is, at the end of that conversation, he basically orders her to do something. And she's leaving with, feeling beat down. But he says to her, Black Cotton. And, in that panel, she has like a smirk, and she says Black Cotton back. And what Patrick and I was trying to do with that is to bring home the point that for this family, no matter what they're going through, tense, terse, volatile, hostile, aggressive circumstances or events, they always try to remember their love, their togetherness, who they are, their identity, their history. And so that phrase Black Cotton is their mantra, their chant, their reminder of who they are, and how they love each other, and that no matter what has been said, it's okay. And
great.
so,
Really cool.
Thank you. It's something that Patrick and I wanted to make sure was in there, for the Cotton family. But it's that kind of mindset that we hope will transcend from those characters in the comic book also into our world.
Right.
We actually say Black Cotton to each other, like in real life. Like before
That's
we
cool.
hang up the phone, we say
Yeah.
Black Cotton. And it's beginning to catch on, like even with Scout, which is real cool. Like in posts and stuff, you know, the CEO, James, the publisher, Charlie, you know, they'll chime in and say Black Cotton, and
That's great.
Yeah.
say Black Cotton back. So it's about family.
That's cool. Talking about Scout Comics, you guys being indie writers, how's it been publishing with Scout?
I'll start. It's great. It's great. So when we first set out to produce Black Cotton, you know, we were trying to decide if we were going to go like indie for real, like self-publishing, or if we were going to shop it around. And so I have, you know, I was fortunate enough to have a really good relationship with the CEO, Brendan, and so I was like, you know, maybe we should send this over to Scout. And Patrick and I talked about it, and he was like, yeah, okay. And so we reached out, and Brendan to James to Charlie. Then we got connected with the whole squad, and they sent us that email and was like, you know, we want to welcome you guys in Black Cotton to the Scout family. And I say all that to say family. Those are the words that they used. And so while they are our publishers, you know, they are integral and, you know, to not only putting the book out, but the cultivation of this relationship. And they are like family, and they've embraced us and made Black Cotton a part of their family. So it's been great. It's been great.
It really has.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of touching on family bit, I was kind of curious, like, are you guys like drawn to any like particular characters that you've like developed for this book? Like, do you have like favorites? Do you have characters who you're like, oh no, like screw that person?
That's a good question. We've never got that. We've never gotten that question before. But
this is
good.
this is all me.
I like it.
I do, because it's funny you say that. And when me and Brian are working on the script and everything, I remember one time he was like, "You're protecting Zion." So,
I remember that.
So I would have to say that definitely Zion is one of my favorite characters. I love Kia, and I love how she's going to develop, and I think the world is really gonna draw close to Kia. But I do, I like Zion.
And like,
then,
I'm assuming there's got to be more in the works as well. Like this,
Yeah.
you know, there's gonna be more people. Like we're gonna we're gonna meet some folks. Like,
I was gonna say my second one is Taz, but you would find out about him later on in the series.
I'm looking forward to it. Brian, what about you?
I'm going to say that I'm partial to Kia, but I think my favorite is Jaleesa. She's.
I knew you were gonna say that.
she's the matriarch.
You got him.
Yeah. You know me, bro. You know me.
Gina
like.
King.
She's this early 50s intelligent, strong Black woman, and so there's a part of my mom I've infused in her as a man, as a Black man. Like there's this. I really wanted to have a character that was strong, intelligent, sexy, who is 100% a woman, who can hold her own, and who is not standing behind her husband, but beside her husband. And that was one of the big conversations that Patrick and I had. And so she represents a lot of things, even for Kia. and she represents a lot of things for Zion, and all of who Zion is, all of who Kia is, her family. Women play such a powerful role in life in general. Creators of life, and mythology with Gaia, and I mean, so there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into being a woman, and me being a man. I really I like to embrace that as a writer, like really try to dive into it. And also in our mind, we had Regina King, like in mind, and we love Regina King. So I'm just like, that's Jaleesa. So
no, that's super cool. So yeah, I mean, like you must have drawn all sorts of different inspirations from people you've met or people yeah, you find that sort of like helps in the character development, the story writing, just like drawing from real life examples.
Absolutely. I mean, and behind that, we we don't get to really see her in her fullness yet. But even Elizabeth, like who she is in this story as a minority woman, a white minority woman, it's a beautiful arc for a story. And so yeah, my favorite characters are the females, and it's just, it might be because I am a male, and it's challenging to change male perspective. You're a writer, and you have to change your perspective. You have to tap into some psyches and societal things that are there, and break those walls down. So
well, it's so cool to see, and it's so important too, right? Like my coworker and I, Kitty, started here. We're like the only two females who work here, and it's something I wish more male writers would try, because it is cool to see yourself, for at least your gender represented in a storyline, and it's important. And so yeah, I think it's really fantastic that you do have so many female characters. It's great. Yeah. Thomas,
Cool.
yeah, so thanks. Yeah. Not really a question, just saying thanks. Thomas, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have gotten this question a bunch of times, but it's really something I think people who are going to watch this interview are going to wonder about. Did the decision to do it in black and white like come from the beginning, or was that something that the artist chose to do by himself? Like, how did that come about?
No, that was me and Brian from the start. When we started talking, to be honest, we went from we were at Texas Roadhouse. We were there for about 4 hours, and then we went to my house afterwards and continued talking and developing. And from the start, we both agreed that black and white grayscale was the way to go. When you are touching on a story that, even though it's a societal, reverse, it's a social order that is being reversed, people automatically will go straight to, it's a black and white thing. So going with color. So what we thought is, let's remove that out of the equation. Let's remove color, from the whole platform, so that when they see it, it's not about color.
Right.
It's about the words and what you see, and then what you're perceiving from what you see, without any implicit bias. We didn't want any distractions on, okay, what shade is she? What shade is this individual? Remove color. It's nothing about that. What do you see? And what are you interpreting from what you see without color? So from the beginning, removing color in its rawest form is exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, the fact that you guys decided to make it in black and white, I think really pushes more like the narrative and the dialogue, and you're forced to, like you said, focus more on this stuff than, you know, try to make your own perspective from it. So that's
Yeah.
great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
you really have to just listen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's
That's
so
awesome.
awesome that, you know, we're being interviewed from Canada. That is, you know, we've been waiting.
We've
You
been
know, this
talking
is
about you guys
awesome.
for weeks. We're so happy that
What
you guys
our
are here.
humble little country.
No, this
It's
is
so
great.
cool. It's so cool.
What's
Yeah.
like the farthest interview you've gotten so far? Like, are we
Oh, I
like the farthest away? No.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's funny because I asked Brian. I said, "Hey, since we're being interviewed from Canada, does that make us international?"
Hell yeah. No. Without a doubt. There's a border, you know?
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Yeah,
Definitely.
how much time we have left? We got like what, like
we got
15?
like 15 minutes left. Yeah.
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 Hey, ask away.
We have a
Yeah.
little surprise towards the end, so. just
Oh,
right
Yeah,
now
well,
we
we'll
have a
save like the
surprise.
last 5.
okay. Okay.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I like surprises. Ooh.
Yeah, now we can get into kind of like the dorkier questions a little bit. I was curious, like first favorite comics. Like, what's like the first comic you ever got?
Oh man. Well, I'll go first because he's a comic expert over there. But for me, it was Wolverine. I started collecting. I'm a collector, so let's get this I guess out there now. Out of the
Yes.
two of us, I'm the collector. He is he's definitely the appreciator, I guess you would say, because he can give you the history and go all into that. And I'm the one who will pull out comics that I've never read, but they are 9.8 CGC graded,
You
signed,
just have
remarked.
them because you want them, kind of thing,
No, I
right?
get it.
Yeah.
But Wolverine and Venom, because I've always loved Wolverine, still love
Yes.
Venom.
He's so
I
stoked right now.
No, these are
Yeah.
my two favorites. Like, actually, Wolverine's my favorite, and Venom is probably my third favorite. So.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Nice.
We're the best.
Nice.
What about you?
Nice. Me?
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick,
Oh,
unless you wanted to mention any
Okay.
more, you're good. Or...
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right,
Um,
Brian, shoot.
I mean, I'm going to say like my first had to be between Spider-Man and Wolverine for sure. And I know there's a Batman in there somewhere because Spider-Man, Wolverine, Batman are definitely my favorite 3 superheroes from my childhood. You know, the action figures, the cards, like the Saturday morning cartoons. Like I was really big on the trading cards that Marvel had. So I know it was around there. I don't know what the numbers were. Like I wasn't the collector. Like I didn't pay attention to the numbers or anything. I was definitely a consumer. So it's like I just wanted more. And they would be all around my room and so forth and so on. So and even to this day, you know what? While I love reading indie comics, and I honestly do read more independent stuff now than I do Marvel in DC. I have this affinity for Marvel in DC because it's something about those superheroes, those stories that reach back into what the human condition is about. And those were like big stories that even though they had these superpowers and were flying and fighting, you know, at the heart of them, it was so much about the human condition and, and what you experience, events that you go through. So
Yeah, just you mentioned Wolverine. Well, I guess if we're talking about X-Men, it's basically a bunch of analogy for groups that were more like well, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of oppression.
Yeah, groups
Right.
that were more oppressed. That was the word I was looking
Marginalization.
for.
Like ostracized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
For
came
sure.
together. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
didn't necessarily like each other at the beginning, especially, Wolverine.
Yeah.
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 the Hickman arc that he had, with
I was
it was the main, like even now, they're still touching on that social order. And
yeah, with the whole Krakoa arc and
exactly, and
have their
even
own
Wolverine. Yeah, it's phenomenal because the comic book medium, has always done that. It's always looked at what it is to be human, what it is to be in society, what it is to go through these experiences, and the uniqueness of blending, words and art. It's perfect for the human being because we process data through images. So here we are with this perfect portrait of literary perfection right there, because the words and the art are blending and complementing each other. And I think that's why the world in 2020, this big boost in like movies and cartoons, TV, video games is because the world is understanding the importance of that comic book medium and how powerful it is.
Definitely. Well, guys, I guess we're gonna get into the surprise because before that, I just want to thank you, Brian. I want to thank you, Patrick. This was
thanks
great.
Guys so much.
We're so happy. Yeah, this was really fun. Thanks for
awesome. Anytime. Thank you guys for having us. I'm glad. I'm glad we were the first. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So I heard, I don't know if that's true, but someone told me that Pharcyde was doing exclusive for Black Cotton.
Yo, yeah.
I heard this, and I might have the book with me right now. Should
no
I show
way!
it?
No way!
Should I show the cover? Should I show the cover, guys?
Yes.
All right. I guess I'm gonna show it then. So this is the exclusive Pharcyde cover.
Oh wow!
By Ryan G. Brown.
We're gonna make this.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Oh wow!
It's just a print of the art, but that's what it's gonna look like.
That is incredible! What a surprise! Oh my goodness!
This is gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh man!
Wow!
This is our first exclusive. We're very excited to promote this book. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Amazing.
It's gonna be great. When is it coming out, guys? February
10th. Yeah,
February
that's
10th.
amazing.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna put that date in our calendar. We're gonna make sure everyone at Pharcyde does the same. We're gonna pass the word around, and definitely we're gonna be pushing.
So how many of those are they gonna make?
250. So this is a very limited book.
Hey, you know I'm gonna have some.
The collector.
Yeah, it's gonna be the boss man just told me this is gonna be a foil.
Yeah, John's.
It's gonna be great. It's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Oh man. I'm blown away. That's so cool.
We're all really.
That's
awesome. Cause Ryan does great work.
Yeah, Ryan's a great guy.
He really does.
Oh man,
very good. He worked on Last Ronin, and now he's working on Black Cotton.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
So when would that be available?
John, when is that gonna be available? Same date, February 10th, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's gonna fly. That's gonna fly off.
That's gonna fly off the shelves for sure. I already got mine pre-ordered.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
John is telling me we already have 100 of these sold.
What?
So while we still on the air, then how can they? How can they claim it?
You can go on our Instagram page or Facebook page or Twitter page, everywhere, every social media. You look up Pharcyde Comics. There's gonna be a post taking claims for this book, the foil Black Cotton exclusive.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. I'm blown away. What a surprise, man.
Yeah, we're very excited to have this cover. It's really gonna be great. Thank you
really
a lot for
thank you.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. But you guys are just such sweethearts.
Yeah, this was so fun. It was great.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Hey, Thomas and Libby, anytime.
Anytime.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. We should
Anything you need, please.
We should do another of these when the book comes out.
Definitely. Hey, just let us know when.
Pencil it in. Absolutely.
Alright.
I'm down.
Sounds good.
And I'll let you know when me and the family coming up to Canada too. Hey, if we're
Sure.
not too far, then maybe we can break bread together.
Yeah,
Go,
for sure.
Shoot a puck around. Go skating.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, John?
Try and get me hurt, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll show you the ropes. It's fine.
John is saying he's gonna take care of you guys if you ever come to Canada.
Oh,
Perfect.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Family. That's what this is
Family.
about.
Love
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like
All
it.
right. Okay.
That's
All right.
awesome.
all right, guys. Thanks so much.
Hey.
for
All right, guys. Thank you so
sharing.
much.
Talk
Have
to
a
you
good
Black
later.
Cotton.
Bye,
Black
Cotton.
Cotton.
Bye. Bye, Cotton. Yeah.